Alright, here we are on Lesson 15, Graphing Solutions to Inequalities. This is the last lesson for the topic, so we should be on page 27 of our note packet. Alright, we're going to skip exercise 1 and we're going to go straight to example 1. And this says, a local car dealership is trying to sell all of the cars that are on the lot. Currently, it has 525 cars on the lot, and the general manager estimates that they will consistently sell 50 cars per week. Estimate how many weeks it will take for the number of cars on the lot to be less than 75. Write an inequality that can be used to find the number of W full weeks. Since W is the number of full or complete weeks when W equals 1, means at the end of week 1. So, first we need to write the inequality. So we know that they have 525 cars. And they think that they're going to sell 50 cars per week. So if they're selling 50, that means they're taking away 50, and then per week W, so we're going to multiply by W. And they want the number to be less than 75, so this would be less than 75. Alright, so now when we go to solve it, we're going to subtract 525 from both sides. So we are left with negative 50W is less than negative 450. We divide by negative 50 on both sides. So we have W, remember we need to flip the sign, is greater than, and we divide, we get 9. Alright, so it says to solve and graph. So now if I'm going to graph the inequality, my number line, I'm going to put 0, I'm going to put 9. And we know it's going to be an open circle, and we want greater than, so I'm going to shade that into the right. Alright, and then it says to interpret the solution. So if we know that it's W greater than 9, we can say that it will take more than 9 weeks to have only less than 75 cars on the lot. Right, so we can't say 9 weeks because it's not greater than or equal to, it's just greater than. Right, and then we're going to skip the verify. We've shown all our work, so that can be how we verify. So go ahead and flip over to the back page where it says exercise 2. And this one says the cost of renting a car is $25 per day plus a one-time fee of $75.50 for insurance. How many days can the car be rented if the total cost is to be no more than $525? Alright, so we know that the cost of a car is $25 per day. So I'm going to we'll use D for day. So we know that it's 25D plus that one-time fee of 75.50. And we want the total cost to be no more than, so less than or equal to, $525. Alright, so now if we go to solve it, we have 25D plus 75.5 less than or equal to 525. So first I need to subtract 75.5 from both sides. So when I do that, I have 2D greater than or equal to 449.50. Alright, 25D, sorry I almost forgot the 5, so I'm going to bring this up here now. So I have 25D is less than or equal to 449.5. So I'm going to divide by 25 on both sides. And when I do that, you can do that in your calculator, you get D is less than or equal to 17.98. Okay, so if we go to graph this, we're going to have 0 and we're going to have 17.98 here. We're going to have a closed circle, But now when we go to shade, think about, we really can't have negative days, so we're only going to shade less than, but only up to 0 because we can't have negative days. And this will help us, oh, I lost my shading. Right, and this will help us interpret our solution. So we know that it has to be less than or equal to 17.98 days. So we can't round up to 18. So we would say that the car can be rented for no more than 17 days. Right, so that's number 2. If we scroll down, we look at number 3 here. It says, for each problem, write to solve and graph the inequality and interpret the solution. So number 3 says, Mrs. Smith decides to buy 3 sweaters and a pair of jeans. She has $120 in her wallet. If the price of the jeans is $35, what is the highest possible price of a sweater? So I'm going to call the sweater X. I don't want to use the letter S. Alright, so we know that she bought 3 sweaters. We don't know how much the sweaters cost, so it's just going to be 3X plus that pair of jeans, which cost $35. Right now, we know she has $120 in her wallet, so she can only spend up to that, so that means that this added up needs to be less than or equal to, it can be equal to $120. Right, she can spend the $120, but no more than that. So now when I go to solve, we subtract 35 from both sides. So I have 3x is less than or equal to 85. And when I divide by 3 now on both sides, I have x is less than or equal to, and if you put it in your calculator, you would round to 28.33. So now when we go to answer the question, well, first we need to graph, actually. Don't want to forget. So if I have 0 and 28.33, alright, so I'm going to have a closed circle at 0, or at 28.33, sorry, and I want less than or equal to, but then again, think about how we shade. We can't have negative dollars, so we're only going to shade up to the 0. Okay, so now when we go to answer our question, they want to know what the highest possible price would be, so we would say the highest possible price would be $28.33. Right? We can't go any higher than that, but you can go lower. Alright, we're going to do one more here. Just going to do number 4. And it says, the members of the select chorus agreed to buy at least 250 tickets for an outside concert. They buy 80 less lawn tickets than balcony tickets. What is the least number of balcony tickets bought? I'm going to use a visual here, just because we have 2 things that we're trying to sort out. So we have lawn, we have balcony. Right, we know that they bought 80 less lawn tickets. So we don't know how many balcony tickets, so I'm going to call that B. But we do know that they bought 80 less lawn than balcony. So this would be B, then 80 less minus 80. And then we know they agreed to buy at least 250 tickets. So that means that this would be greater than or equal to 250. So now when we combine our like terms here, we have 2b minus 80 is greater than or equal to 250. So if I add 80 to both sides, I have 2b is greater than or equal to 330. And when I divide by 2 on both sides, I get b is greater than or equal to 165. Right, so when I go to graph this now, I have my number line. I have 0, I have 165. I'm going to have a closed circle at 165. and then it's greater than or equal to, so that means I'm shading to the right this time. So to answer the question, it says, what is the least number of balcony tickets? Well, the least amount, rewrite it, the least amount would be 165. All right, we know they bought at least 165 balcony tickets. It could have been more, though. All right, so that's all that we're going to do all together. All right, I want you to try number 5 on your own, and then we will go over them in class tomorrow.